Ever wonder why some tech projects just fly, while others seem to get stuck in quicksand? Well, the answer might not be in the code at all. It might be hidden in a 50-year-old law that, believe it or not, secretly runs the show for today's most advanced cloud systems. Okay, let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start by uncovering this hidden blueprint. Then we'll look at how smart companies are flipping this law to their advantage. We'll dive into a modern team playbook, get really specific on platform versus product teams, and then wrap up with how to design your own organization for the future.
All right, first stop. Understanding this core idea. Your company's org chart, it's basically the invisible design spec for all of your technology.
Let's start with a question I'm pretty sure we've all asked ourselves at some point, right? Why does one project feel like a nimble sports car just zipping along, while another feels like a giant cargo ship that takes like 5 miles just to make a turn? Well, the secret isn't in the engine, it's in how the crew communicates.
And here it is. This is the sentence that started it all, from computer scientist Melvin Conway, way back in 1967. This single line is the master key to understanding so many of the wins and losses we see in tech every single day. It's simple, it's powerful, and wow, is it true.
Now, what's really important to get here is that Conway's law isn't just a clever saying, it's a principle, kind of like gravity. It just is. The shape of your software is going to end up looking exactly like the shape of your team's communication paths. The boundaries, the friction, the smooth handoffs, all of it gets hard-coded right into the system.
And check this out. This slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at that top line. You've got these rigid, siloed teams, a database team here, a back-end team there. And what do you get? You get a big, clunky monolith, where every little change is a painful process of tickets and handoffs. But now look at the bottom line. You organize into small, cross-functional teams that own their stuff, end to end. And what do you get? Almost like magic. You get a system of microservices with clean APIs that mirror those exact team boundaries.
Okay, so if this law is basically inevitable, what if we stopped fighting it? What if we started using it as a strategic tool? And that brings us to a really powerful idea, flipping the law on its head.
This is what's called the reverse Conway maneuver. It's brilliant. Instead of letting your org chart, which might be totally accidental, dictate your architecture, you decide on the architecture you want. You say, we want a loosely coupled, scalable microservices platform. And then you literally architect your teams to naturally produce that outcome. You design the organization to design the system.
And you know, this is not just a theory. The biggest names out there, your Netflixes, your Amazons, your Spotifys, they live and breathe this stuff. They don't let some old legacy system decide how their teams are structured. Nope. They figure out their product boundaries, they create small, empowered teams around them, and the result is the holy grail every company wants: speed, agility, and a powerful sense of ownership.
So if we're going to be intentional about designing our teams, how do we actually do it? Like, what are the Lego bricks we can use? Well, that's where this modern playbook comes in, based on the amazing framework called team topologies.
Let's break this down. Think of it like a pro kitchen. First up, you've got your stream-aligned teams. These are your line cooks, totally focused on one dish, getting it to the customer perfectly and fast. Then you have the platform teams. They're the crew that keeps the whole kitchen humming, making sure the ovens are hot, the tools are sharp, and everything just works. Then you have enabling teams. They're like a guest master chef who comes in to teach everybody a wild new technique. And finally, you might have a complicated subsystems team. That's the super specialized pastry chef who handles those desserts that nobody else even knows how to make.
Now, of those 4 team types, the dynamic between 2 of them is absolutely 100% critical to get in the cloud right. So let's zoom in on that relationship between the platform teams and the product or stream-aligned teams that they support.
And this just spells it out perfectly. The platform team on the left, their job is to build the paved road. They provide the standardized self-service infrastructure, the monitoring, the tooling. Their number one goal is to reduce the cognitive load on everybody else. Why? So the product teams on the right can be freed up to do what they're best at, focus on the business, build amazing features, and own their services without having to be a world-class expert on Kubernetes. I absolutely love this quote. It just makes the whole concept click, right? A great platform team provides rock-solid, easy-to-use services to its internal customers, the product teams, just like AWS does for the rest of the world. It's all about empowerment, not being a gatekeeper. Okay, so we get the law, we get the reverse maneuver, we get the team types. Now let's put it all together into a real, practical plan for designing your organization to win.
But first, let's talk about the traps. These are the red flags, the anti-patterns, that pop up when organizations ignore Conway's law. You got the centralized ops team that becomes a huge bottleneck. Or the opposite, total chaos, because every team is doing their own thing. Or my favorite, the distributed monolith, where you have a ton of services, but no one really owns anything. If any of these sound familiar, you're not alone.
So here's the way forward. Step 1, you start with the business. Identify your core domains, payments, inventory, whatever they are. Then you form your teams around those domains. Step 3 is non-negotiable. Build that powerful platform team to support everyone else. With those boundaries set, you can now create crystal clear API contracts. Then you layer on things like SRE for reliability. And finally, number 6, and this is key, you remember that this is a living, breathing thing. You have to keep evolving your teams as the business evolves.
And please don't think for a second that this is some old idea that doesn't apply anymore. Conway's law is more relevant today than it has ever been. As we dive headfirst into data mesh, complex AI models, and LLM ops, the need for clear ownership, well-defined team interactions, and strong platforms is only going to get more intense. How you structure your AI teams will literally define the shape of your AI systems.
This slide really brings it all home for me. Yeah, technology choices matter. Of course they do. But what matters even more are the communication patterns between your people. And what's holding all of that up? The foundation? It's your team design. That's the bedrock. You get that right, and the right technology choices will almost take care of themselves.
After all of this, the law, the strategy, the playbook, it all really boils down to one simple core truth. Here it is. Winning in the cloud isn't really about picking the right database or the fanciest new tool. It's about consciously, deliberately, and thoughtfully engineering the human system, the teams, the communication lines, the culture of ownership that builds and runs the tech.
So I'll just leave you with this question to take back with you. Go take a hard look at your org chart, at how your teams really talk to each other. Does that picture reflect the fast, scalable, resilient system you're trying to build? And if it doesn't, well, maybe it's time to start drawing a new one.